Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Dugout podcast. And it's been an exciting weekend of SPFL action. A Cal Max screamer, a Joe Wright red card, a last minute equaliser for the Staggies. The Czech Robin has arrived, Dundee demolition, a Gerald Taylor disaster in the same game. And it looks like Bojan Miovski says his farewell as the Dons go 2 for 2. But before we get into all of that, I'm here with my co-host Ethan Barlow. Ethan, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Great to get back into the swing of it with football, isn't it? The other domestic leagues starting up now. Across England, the lower league started, and then of course the Premier League's next week. But great to be fully in the swing of things with Scottish football.
Yeah, some good games in England as well. I think Leeds drew 3-3 with Portsmouth, and Portsmouth clawed it back, didn't they?
Yeah.
Lots of exciting things happening with football. Before we dive into what happened in the league action, obviously last week we had three European qualifiers, three first legs. It was obviously Rangers in the Champions League, and then Kilmarnock and St Mirren in the Conference League qualifiers. Obviously, we previewed it, but this is the first time we're getting to it on the podcast. So we're just going to talk about those quickly. We'll jump in with the first game, Dynamo Kiev and Rangers. Uh, it was it was a funny game. I thought it was about. I think the second half was much better from Rangers. The first half was fairly even. Obviously, Dynamo Kiev taking the lead. The changes that Rangers made, I think, impacted it. Jeff Day, Cherny, and obviously Dessers getting his goal at the end. Um, that's that's kind of my quick recap of the game, and the second half performance was something to build on, I think, and we'll probably talk about the rest and coming up for the league. But yeah, that was sort of my analysis of that game.
Yeah, I thought similar. I thought really wasn't much in the game between the two teams. I think watching that a draw was probably a fair result, but you can't underestimate how crucial that Cyril Dessers late equaliser could be. Of course, going back to homeland Hampden, to hopefully for Rangers get the job done. And I think they will get the job done. Um, I do believe that they'll have enough in the tank to overcome Kiev, despite Kiev being a good team.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I just think Rangers are sort of starting to improve, and I think what we will see from them is a another improved performance, and hopefully it'll last majority of the game. On to Kilmarnock, two each, I believe, with Tromso. They were probably butchered that pronunciation, but anyway, they went 1-0 up early in the game. I thought they were really good in the early periods. Then obviously Tromso came back into it, and then last gasp equaliser from Bobby Wales. I believe to give Kilmarnock something to fight for going away, but I don't. I think they had to win at home. To be totally honest, it's a similar situation to them drawing with Cercle Bruges and to go away and get a win, and I just don't think they'll be able to, unfortunately, for the Kilmarnock fans. But aye, it is unfortunate because you want to see the Scottish teams doing well. You want the coefficient to be boosted for the benefit of the whole league, and you want the quality of the league to improve and get more teams in Europe, get more cash in. So, um, so the overall quality can improve, and Scottish football can be a bit more respected than it currently is. But yeah, 2-2 isn't the worst result, but I don't think they'll be able to do it going away.
No, I agree. I agree. I think like Bruce, the Circle Bruges match, it'll just be too much a ask of Kilmarnock, especially. I don't think they'll be running on much confidence either.
No,
Off the back of their two league results this season, I think it will just be too much. And I think Europe has just been proved a little bit too much for them this season. I think
Hmm.
obviously great Bobby Wales got that late equaliser. I believe it was his first competitive Kilmarnock goal. And but I think it will be difficult. But it's enough in each game. It's a fresh game. The first leg means nothing now. So they've just got to wipe that out of their memories and go at it, get the win.
Yeah, definitely. On to St Mirren, another last gasp equaliser from them. Um, yeah, going up against Bran. I thought from St Mirren are actually looking fairly good this season. And I thought they played well for a lot of the game. Alex Gogic, crucial. I thought the goalie loss was quite poor because Gogic made that excellent challenge, and then they don't set up properly, and it's just instantly Brant go one ahead. But you know, I don't know if it's a similar situation, but based on how St Mirren have been playing this season, I fancy their chances more than I fancy Kilmarnock going away and getting a result. Um, I just think their squad is really good this season, and they've got a distinctive style of play. They've got leaders in the team, and I think they probably could go away and get something.
Yeah, I think at the current time with form and everything considered, I think they've definitely got a better chance than Kilmarnock. But obviously, I think Brann are a better team than Tromsø. I think Brann are currently second in Norway, so probably just underlies how decent it is that or how good St Mirren are at the moment to be really competing closely with them, and hopefully they can take their form. I know they lost at the weekend, but it was a decent performance away at Aberdeen. We'll get onto that, I'm sure.
Mm.
Hopefully they can get the job done in Norway.
Yeah. Now on to the SPFL, the weekend's league action. Rangers kicked off with their first home game of the season at Hampden with a 2-1 victory over Motherwell. I didn't get to see the first half, unfortunately. I was at work, but I've tried to gain as much as I can from watching highlights and reading articles and stuff like that. I watched the second half and it wasn't great. First half, I've heard and from what I've seen, Rangers played well in the highlights. They created a lot of chances. Uh, got the opening goal with Cyril Dessers, who has 2 goals in 3 games now this season. The header back across from Mohamed Diamandi and Dessers put it away. Then Motherwell equalised with might be one of the most bizarre own goals I've ever seen. Poor from Tavernier. I don't know what Suter's doing. Why are you
Yeah,
not heading it? And then obviously proper. I think he's a bit unfortunate, but it was just the whole thing leading up to it. It was it was a calamity.
yeah, yeah. Proper. It's a very unfortunate start to his Rangers career. There isn't really much he can do about it. I think it does take a slight nick off John Suter just before it gets to him, which doesn't help it. I mean, Motherwell scored a goal in the first half with having 1 shot and 0 on target, so probably shows how dominant Rangers were in the first half. And was it good goals from both Dessers and Czerny, or if that's how you say his name.
Yeah, as it's Czerny, I believe. I believe it's Václav Czerny.
Yeah,
And you never know with the seas if it's a hard sea or a soft sea or whatever. But yeah, obviously, yeah, Rangers' dominance, they capitalised on that with Czerny's goal. Really, really good pass from Tavernier to find him, I thought, and he just took it on the spin, accelerated and picked his spot, and it was a really, really good finish. He probably should have had an assist as well, with a beautiful pass through to Scott Wright. He took it round the keeper, and then it was cleared off the line. I thought it was a bit unfortunate, although Scott Wright wasn't great again. I think that speaks to where we are, where Rangers are right now, in terms of the squad, because and also how bad is Rabbi Matondo that Scott Wright's starting on the left over him? It's worrying actually. But 3 points is 3 points, and Rangers just need to take it and move on, and hopefully get get off. Sorry, get better and get running in this league season.
Yeah,
Motherwell in the second half, I thought they were decent. Rangers weren't winning any second balls in the second half at all. And I thought the substitution of Zach Robinson caused a bit of problems. He was really physical, sort of in your face. He had a really good shot on the spin that was saved by Jack Butland. Um, Lennon Miller was quite good, although I think he was carrying something because he was one of the ones that weren't really meant to be playing. I think because Miller will have a bit of an injury crisis, which also is a bit of a it speaks volumes as to where Rangers are that we can't, you know, that the Rangers can't put away a really poor injury-ridden Motherwell side. You could see when Cherny and Lawrence came off that the attacking intent just dropped off, and it's quite a scary drop off. But I think there's more work to be done in the window, and Rangers fans just need to trust the process right now.
yeah. I think that's something that watching the brief bits I've seen, obviously got to watch the whole of the Dynamo Kiev game last week and um, the highlights of the game this week against Motherwell. Tierney seems to bring that kind of confidence on the wing, which it doesn't really seem to be really for any of the other wingers at Rangers at the moment. I don't know if you were surprised, but I know he kind of signed as a left back, but after Hefty's substitute appearance last week against Kiev, I'm surprised he didn't get any minutes.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised at that. Um, it's just I don't know. I feel like Philip Clement's just trying to work things through. Maybe Jeff D's not got quite the fitness right now. Um, but I thought he probably would have. I thought he definitely would have saw some minutes, but he didn't. Which was a bit strange. Um, but that's. Have you got anything more to say on the Rangers game?
No, no, just a game that Rangers are expected to win, but then again, Rangers like Celtic are expected to win every game, and that's what it's about, getting the win and moving on to the game midweek and then moving on to the cup next weekend.
Aye. So on to the next game. Ross County won, Dundee United won. Dundee United went to Dingwall, and I thought they put on quite a good performance. Uh, is first of all, Ethan, in this game, is the is that the worst mess you've ever seen in your entire life?
That's got to be up there. The opening 10 seconds, I think it was. Yeah, really, really, really poor.
It was absolutely disastrous. How does he mess it up that badly?
I don't know. He
It
cleared
seems
cleared
like
the stadium.
it seems like he just tries to take a swing at it to get it in, like just power it in, and he just gets it all wrong, leaning back, and it goes into the stratosphere. but that didn't really affect Dundee United's overall performance. From looking at it, they had a lot of the play. They looked sharp. Obviously, they got the goal. I thought I thought the fans were quite good as well. They brought a bit of atmosphere. Um, sometimes in Scotland the crowds maybe aren't the best, but I thought the home fans were good and the away fans were good as well. Um, from what I saw, and then obviously Ross County getting the equalising goal in the 95th minute, I believe, from their new striker. Oh God, I'm gonna mess this up. Is it Hale or Vale? I always get
Hale.
Hale, right?
Roman Hale it is, aye.
It's
From
Hale.
Ireland.
I don't know why, but that always gets mixed up in my head, you know. So Hale with the equalising goal, and Ross County have 2 points so far this season. Dundee United with 2 points as well. Um, I think Ross County are shaping up a bit better than I thought they would.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the first half especially, I think Ross County looked really good, although Dundee United defended well. Jack Walton, of course, gave away the penalty and then made amends with the save. It was a save, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good
it was a
penalty
save.
save. I
Yeah,
forgot about that there.
yeah. Because Eamon Brophy still on the wait for a goal. I think it's been nearly 6 months since he last scored a Scottish competitive goal. Yeah, but
Uh,
he made some great saves in the first half because Dundee United had 14 shots, 4 of them on target. And then it was kind of Dundee United who kind of hit Ross County with a sucker punch at the start of the second half. David Babinski, formerly of what team, Alex?
I don't know. Put me on the
Yeah,
spot here.
formerly Barcelona. Um,
Oh yeah, I saw that interview.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's his first goal for Ross County. So
Dundee
enough
United.
first goal for Dundee United. Sorry. Switching the Camp Nou for Dingwall, um, and then it was a good goal by Hale at the end to get probably what County deserve. I feel like a draw was probably the fair result. Yeah, both teams will probably be happy with their starts to the season with 2 points, undefeated in their opening 2 games. So yeah,
Yeah. On to probably the shock result of the weekend.
yeah,
Uh, Dundee took on Hearts, and in the first half they absolutely dominated them. You know, I've got a couple of standout players. I thought Scott Tiffany was electric for that game. I thought every time he got the ball, he looked dangerous. His goal was really, really well taken. Quite a smart finish. Although Xander Clark, bit of disaster playing out from the back. Hearts looked like a shadow of themselves from last week. Thought they were brilliant last week, and this week they looked terrible. Talking about players who look like a shadow of themselves, Gerald Taylor had an absolutely nightmare game. An own goal, a really weird own goal. And you know, we talked about Robin Proper being unfortunate. It looked like Taylor was aiming for the bottom corner. Like, what's going on with that? And there was a incident in the game where he was checked for a red card. I don't think it was a red personally, but he did go in really heavy and he looked like he was struggling. Dundee went 4-0 up, but it was ruled out for a handball, which I thought was fair in the end. And then Hearts got one back with Frankie Kent, and they were coming back into the game a little bit, but it wasn't enough in the end to salvage that disastrous first half.
yeah, yeah. But really strange. Something I picked up on, which I thought was quite strange, was Stephen Naismith changing his shape.
Yeah.
Usually, if you're playing against Rangers and then you go to playing against another team, you drop the amount of defenders you have, but instead he added an additional one, and obviously it didn't work.
Hmm.
Took out Jan Danda for Oyegoki, I think is his name, the central defender. I don't know if that's um, maybe practicing and keeping try to build that like formation up for maybe playing Poulsen in the qualifying because obviously they won't be favourites for that one. But yeah, really strange and really brilliant by Dundee, especially in the first half. And
Hmm.
really impressive result for them. And they've started the season well as well.
Yeah,
A lot of
four
people,
points.
yeah, a lot of people, including myself, maybe writing them off to fall out the top six this season, but
Hmm.
they don't seem to be going anywhere. And look, I think he was great again. And Yeah, but Tony Docherty is going to do well to hold on to him. I think Hibs are interested. I heard that
They've
Celtic.
had Hibs have had 2 bids rejected, I think.
Yeah, I think Celtic are monitoring it as well, and clubs down south as well. So they'll be doing well to hold on to him. But yeah, Dundee really solid, and
Yeah.
Hearts look really
You were talking about
unfamiliar.
the shape there. Naismith was actually trying quite a lot of stuff in pre-season. I think in their game against Spurs, they were really good in the first half. Naismith changed the shape and they dropped off completely. So I don't know. Maybe that's a sign of what Hearts fans need to look forward to, a bit of inconsistency. You know, him just trying different things. You know, because he's obviously still a really new manager, and maybe he's trying to work out where he fits. But they had a good season last season, really good game last week. So I don't know. I wouldn't be chopping and changing everything. But you know, he's the manager of Hearts, and it's his decision at the end of the day. On to the other side of Edinburgh, Hibs hosted the champions Celtic at Easter Road, and Celtic took the 2-0 win. Nicholas Kuhn and Cal McGregor were the goals. Nicholas Kuhn looks electric this season. And obviously, that's Cal McGregor with an absolute belter screamer. Um, I didn't see much of the game at all, but I'll throw it over to you, Ethan, for your analysis. From what I saw of the highlights and from what I heard, Celtic looked really good again.
Yeah, a brilliant start from Celtic after 3 minutes. Kuhn gets the goal, and Celtic really set the tempo early on. Really dominant in the opening half of the half, or the opening quarter of the match, if you like. It was 2-0, a brilliant McGregor goal. Right in front of his now ex-international manager, of course, retiring from the national team during the week. But it really should have been 3 or 4 in the first half. Kyogo had a great one-on-one chance, and I can't remember what Hibs player nearly put it in his own net off the bar. But Celtic,
Yeah,
after the 2-0 lead, they just were happy with what they had, I think, and they should have extended the lead. They had multiple chances, but didn't really. And Hibs came into the game more in the second half, after not even having a shot in the first half. So possibly a wee
uh,
bit concerning for Hibs.
positive. Well, it's a positive. I saw positive signs from their new signing, Kieran Bowie. You know, he outmuscles Carter Vickers. You don't hear that often, and then he hits it off the bar from a ridiculous angle. But ultimately they weren't good enough in the end. I don't know what it is with Hibs, but it seems every season that one word that comes to mind is toothless. You know, and it just doesn't seem to be changing. I thought for the first goal, it was really poor defending. Um, Great from Forrest, stay alive, keep it in. But all the Hibs players stopped, you know, and you can't be doing that when Celtic are there. They'll punish you. So, yeah, that's the result from that game. Uh,
Yeah, I think it's another positive result and performance for Celtic. Still, obviously, as I've said, I think Celtic need more new signings to come in. Left back and striker, especially. Adam Ida de Barco goes on. Um, I heard he came on and had an impressive substitute appearance for Norwich as they lost to Oxford United at the weekend. But I don't really understand what's going on there and why he's not been signed yet. And our other new signing, Casper Schmeichel, will be thinking Scottish football is pretty easy based off his opening 2 matches.
I
Um,
know.
and obviously for Celtic's an advantage now. They can just sit back and put their feet up and don't have to play any qualifiers, which is always a benefit at the start of the season. But a positive result for Celtic, and I think that's it for round up of this one, and we'll go on to Aberdeen v St Mirren, the
Yeah,
next one.
we'll go to Pittodrie for the 3-1 victory of Aberdeen. Two from two, second in the league. After the game's positive. Uh, I think it was I think the scoreline wasn't really reflective of the game. Aberdeen were clinical. They had three shots on target. They won 3-1. Um, St Mirren had the bulk of the possession, I think, and they were looking quite strong again. But like I said, Aberdeen were clinical and they managed to get a really good victory. They look clinical this season. I got a bit of backlash uh, on Twitter for talking. It was me tweeting saying I believe St Johnstone had been better in the game and Aberdeen were clinical. I got a bit of backlash for that, but I'm not backtracking. At the time, I believed St Johnstone had been better. However, Aberdeen were good. Uh, I'm not going to say St Mirren were better, but I thought St Mirren were it wasn't deserving of a 3-1 loss. Um, and that's yeah, but it's really good positive signs for Aberdeen fans. If they can keep this up, they'll be really happy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the sign they're good teams getting the result, and although they might have not been the best team in either of the two games, they've scored 5 goals and they've won both games. So the Aberdeen fans will be happy with that. I think 6 wins from 6 now after their 100% record in the Premier Sports Cup. And yeah, some good play by them. And Jamie McGrath looks like a standout this season. 2 goals and 2 assists already in two
I
games.
he looks like the Jamie McGrath of old when he was lighting it up for St Mirren.
Yeah,
It's taken him a while to come back properly, but he's looking really good again. Um, but a wee sad point for Aberdeen fans. It looked like at the end of the game, Bojan Miovski said his farewell to the supporters. Girona, I believe, he's heading there. Fabrizio Romano's reported on it. It looks like it's likely for him to go. Some striker over the past couple of years, and I think Rangers and Celtic missed that trick, maybe going in for him because I think he would have been brilliant for either one of them. But yeah, I'm sure he'll do well in Italy, and he's had a good time at Aberdeen.
yeah. I think obviously it's like Girona will be it's just a great move for any player at the moment. Obviously, a club on the rise, along with the Man City group. We won't go into question about that. The fairness and legitimacy of that whole thing, but great move for him going to a Champions League club. It was nice the manager Jimmy Phelan to bring him on to get that last few minutes and then get that standing ovation. And I'm glad that the fans are not hostile towards him because obviously it's just a big club. He's going to the Champions League. He can't really turn that sort of move down. And hopefully he does well. I know I would have liked to see him at Celtic, but um, that never worked out. And yeah,
Yeah.
good luck to him.
Uh, on to the final game of the weekend. Um, Disaster. As you can see, our colleague isn't here today. He's actually out doing some work placement, but I'm sure you'll be happy to miss this. Kilmarnock 0, St Johnstone 3. Joe Wright with a red card. I just want to dive into the red card. What the heck was he thinking going in like that? For when there's no need, he just flies in. He's on a yellow and he gets sent. To me, that's ludicrous. What do you think was going through Joe Wright's head?
Yeah, that I really don't understand. I think watching the second yellow, he could have on another day even been a red, depending on the sort of contact he catches him with. Really silly, especially already 1-0 down and trying to get back into the game. Um, yeah, really strange decision and just really poor, especially in the first half from Kilmarnock.
Hmm. I thought they left a lot of space for St Johnstone, especially. I think it was the second goal that came across, and they all just kind of stood there like statues. Um, and it's Kilmarnock. It's not looking good for them this season. Bottom of the league, already went out of one European competition. I think a few of their players maybe struggling with injuries, and they don't look sharp. They didn't look sharp at all in this game. I do want to talk about St Johnstone. However, they look like they might be a bit of a surprise package this season. They were decent against Aberdeen, like I said. Don't come at me. But yeah, they were good against Aberdeen, and obviously Kilmarnock got the red, but they were already better than them before the red card. They took the 1-0 lead, and they've got a young squad. It's exciting, and I think there could be something special happening in Perth.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've got that strike force which has been on fire this season. I think Sidibe's got 4 goals in 6 games now with that double, and Kimpionga's penalty, I think that's how you say the name, brings them up to 6 goals in 6 games. So
Hmm.
they're absolutely on fire.
And
It
I
was
thought the
brilliant.
way the way he won the penalty as well,
Yeah,
it was brilliant.
yeah. I
You
was just
know,
going to say that it was brilliant skill. Made that
yeah,
Megan just getting round. I can't remember what command defender it was that.
yeah. It was like
Brilliant.
he did like a wee like body feint. He just didn't touch the ball and just kept running. The defender was on skates and took him out. But yeah, St Johnstone are looking good this season, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they can do. However, don't want them to play well in their next game. Coming up against Rangers in the cup. But aye, it should be good to see them.
Yeah, but for Kilmarnock, not good. Really
No,
not good. I think I said it in the predictions. I think they might have rested on their laurels a little bit too much. They only made a few signings really. They strengthened. I think they signed a defender. They obviously signed Robbie McCrory to replace Will Dennis, and then they re-signed Ndaba and they signed Bruce Anderson. But is it enough really? When you see all
looking
the other
like it's
teams,
not.
yeah, when you see all the other teams strengthening, especially when Kilmarnock have got Europe to play, European football to play, it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough.
No.
And I've seen a lot of Kilmarnock fans and even saying they don't mind about getting to Europe because of how detrimental it looks it's going to be to their season.
Yeah, definitely. They really need to pick it up quickly because if this form continues, they'll be in a relegation fight, which no one thought would happen at the start of the season. But that's that for this week's action. Obviously, we've got the European games coming up. I think we sort of covered how we think the teams will do. So let's wrap it up here. It's been a pleasure, Ethan. After an exciting weekend of SPFL action, after a couple of nil-nils last week, this week has been goals, goals, goals. So it's been really, really exciting. Thank you to everyone who watched and listened to today's episode. Check us out on Twitter at the Dugout 2024. We're trying to get more active on there, get more involved. And yeah, thank you everyone again. Thank you to Ethan. Really enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.